Okay, mic is working. In the heck happened? Like OBS flashed for a moment and then everything crashed. Taking me like 10 to 15 minutes to figure out what happened. I restarted my computer just to be safe, but I have absolutely no idea what happened. Five minutes, it wouldn't even start up the OBS program. So frightening. Hi, Rolf. The only thing I open now is OBS, Discord, and Spotify. I have no other program open or window or anything. It probably shut down because I was about to desecrate a grave. Crashes again?
This must be the grave. Dig quickly, Watson.
Very well, Holmes. Look, a metal box.
The lock on this box is rather sophisticated.
This box comes from a bank. The criminals must have held onto it after a hold-up.
Seems to be there on the sides. Have fun. How in the God's holy earth do I move this thing? So I can see down in the corner how the numbers are supposed to be. Right, where are you? Up. Up. And rest is easy.
There we are. It is simplicity itself.
Simplicity.
This key must be important to be hidden here.
These candlesticks are undoubtedly stolen.
A hammer covered in blood.
Someone there.
Holmes, there is someone in that hut.
I saw, Watson. Come, and keep your revolver at the ready, just in case.
Just give me a child.
Open up. We're not the police. Do not be alarmed.
That's a strange way of reassuring someone. Holmes, they are children. My God, one of them is hurt.
What you want? Don't come any closer. Are you the police?
Don't be afraid. I am a doctor. I'm going to look at your friend's wound.
Wait, Watson. I've got some questions to ask these children.
This is urgent, Holmes. In this filthy place, the risk of infection is very high, and the wound could get worse with every second lost.
The immediate danger for these children is not so much the wound as Mr. Fletcher.
Who?
Look at the wound, Watson. It's thin and precise. It was made by a sharp, well-kept blade. Any other blade, less well-kept, would have torn the tissue around it, and its size would be irregular.
So what does that imply?
In this area, who would take such great care with a blade? A butcher, of course. And the only butcher in the area is Samuel Fletcher, who at this moment is replacing a window that has been forced open. He's a man to hold grudges, as anyone around here will tell you.
The children are in danger.
A man as skillful with a knife as a butcher, and with a bad reputation to match, could easily strike a fatal blow by cutting the child's jugular. If he hasn't done it, it's surely because these little thieves broke into his shop at night to steal a piece of meat. The poor lighting in this area saved them. I can assure you that Mr. Fletcher has spent the day trying to trace these children, and if he finds them, wounds will be the least of their problems.
That's true. What do you want? Don't let the butcher find us.
No.
Dr. Watson will see to your wound, but the treatment won't be free. I don't need to remind you that life is hard, you know that already. Give me the address of a certain Kurtz, and the doctor will dress your wound. No address, no treatment.
I can't tell you, mister. Kurtz is a dangerous madman.
Holmes, you go too far. You have frightened the poor child.
I could give Mr. Fletcher a compensation for the damage to his property, and he would certainly give up trying to find you then. But for that, you'll have to cooperate.
Or else?
Or else he'll likely find a less agreeable way of repairing the damage.
Wait, mister. I know everyone here. I'll help you. Only protect us from the butcher.
I am looking for Kurtz. Tell me what I
Okay,
can
should have
find,
gone with
and
that
I'll
before.
smooth things over with Mr. Fletcher.
Everyone here knows Kurtz. He's the worst person in the area. We call him the Colonel because he fought against the Zulus in Africa. He got chucked out the army because he's completely crackers. He lives at number 8 Batty Street.
Good. Watson, see to the wound. Then we will settle the problem between these young men and Mr. Fletcher.
Okay. So, Crackers chuckle. Brits have the funniest way of either explaining or expressing something. And I know 2 Brits and a Scottish. All 3 are lethal when you're not prepared for it. Do not drink during their streams. You will choke. I swear, one of them can attest to that. Okay. Cemetery. Left. What am I doing? I know where the man is. I've seen him.
We must protect these children from that butcher, Holmes.
It won't be necessary. I've had dealings with Samuel Fletcher before now. He's not the monster I've made him out to be. If he had wanted to kill them, he would have done so, even in dim light. By wounding the little thief, he wanted to warn him never to set foot in his shop again. Forget Mr. Fletcher, Watson.
You mean you lied to frighten those poor children?
Exactly. Clever, wasn't it?
What is wrong with you during this game?
Well, mister, that's a mighty fine outfit you're wearing there. You stand out like a sore thumb, and that's no lie. Watch that you don't get it all dirtied up, but you'd be welcome to come back to my place. It's not far, and I'd sponge it down for you.
Don't go back to Jenny's place. You'll get malaria.
Thank you, madam. I'm certain that you would make a very good job of it. That will not be necessary, however. But your thought was a kind one.
We'd best be leaving now, sir.
Here, please accept this sovereign as a token of my gratitude for your concern.
Well, I never. Thank you. That's right generous of you, my lordship.
You are very welcome, madam.
Madam, he calls me. Bless my garters. What a gent.
If you're ready now, sir.
Yes, let us go.
What a remarkable man, the Prince Woodville, to talk to such a woman as though she was an equal.
Let's find Batty Street.
That wasn't the address. Found it. 1 5 Very back of it.
Closed.
Nice try. Where's the key?
My God, Holmes, it's appalling. And the smell. But what can have happened here?
Stay calm, Watson. Take note of every detail and be careful not to move anything.
Very well, Holmes.
What the hell?
A torn piece of a letter.
Colonel, I have heard that the heads of the alarm commando do not appreciate your operating methods. Methods that they judge as expedient rule. We are defending our land, our cause is holy and just. Combatants who are honorable and motivated, not wealth-hungry assassins. There's no room here for opportunists like you.
It seems to be a letter of dismissal. A military badge of the 58th Infantry Regiment of Her Majesty, and a letter stipulating Kurtz's exclusion from the unit. He served in 1881.
At that time, the regiment served in South Africa. Kurtz was in the Boer War.
A newspaper covering the war in South Africa. Kurtz must have been following the war with some interest.
The Boer War is abominable, and it still rages.
And that. How long did it last? If like that. Say.
A military badge of the 58th Infantry Regiment of Her Majesty, and a letter stipulating Kurtz's exclusion from the unit. He served in 1881.
At that time, the regiment served in South Africa. Kurtz was in the Boer War.
Okay, what I can find on Wikipedia, there were two wars. First one lasted from December 16th, 1880 until March 23rd, 1881. But then there is a second one that went from October 11th, 99 to May 31st, 1902. So what they... Maybe the first war they're mentioning here in the game. Kinda neat that they are mentioning these kind of details, and it makes me interested enough to look it up. Oh.
Grapes! What are they doing there?
Grape ape?
Someone wrapped some meat up in this newspaper. The blood is still fresh. This is yesterday's newspaper.
Grapes!
An old photo. It's written to our comrade Jeremy Kurtz, from Commando J. Malan, Bloemfontein, 1883.
Kurtz served as a Boer commando. He fought against his country.
Apparently our friend Kurtz served in both camps in South Africa and was never a colonel. but that doesn't surprise me.
A traitor, deserter, and a false colonel. What a charming gentleman.
Okay.
The dog's bowl is empty. Someone brought food for the dogs, probably just before the fight broke out.
And just after they had been fed, they attacked a man to eat him. Incredible.
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
I haven't even... Doggy.
What a horrible wound. This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent.
The skin was deeply torn.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent. What terrible wounds! The dogs must have been rabid.
Hello.
This bandage is a day or two old, no more. This bandage is a day or two old, no more. It is a
Finger.
dog bite. I can see the tooth marks. Only a dog could inflict so deep a wound, but it appears that the wound was gnawed at afterwards.
On.
This bandage.
Oh, it said open. Oh, I saw it.
This bandage is a day or two old, no more. This bandage.
Deduction, he said. Or poison the madness. Just before. Bite wound on the mouth. On the dog's paw. Dog. I think they used to torture him. Someone must have poisoned the meat.
This bandage is a day or two old, no more. This bandage is a...
Stop it. Up there.
What a horrible wound.
size 9. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
I can still check some. Oh, I have to cut it open.
Please take note, Watson.
The same finger that we found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's house. Holmes!
Finally. Ads are starting at heads.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent.
Nothing.
The skin was deeply torn.
What a horrible wound.
The material on this tray is rather odd. A small burner.
A pipe with a strange smell.
Small burnt balls. There can be no doubt. Judging by the material on the tray and the pipe, the man smoked opium.
Opium. I doubt if this man could have made his drug here. He would have needed a real laboratory.
Okay, what does ads can be going on? I'll be doing some thinking. Obviously, it's murder. Doesn't mean old. Could count as supply. Wonderful. Have ended, and I've just been sitting here going through the deduction board. That. That means not savagely.
My deduction chart is incomplete, Holmes. We are missing an important detail.
Let's return to the clinic and ask if our friend might lend us his morgue for 2 hours.
What are you going to do?
I'm torn between a nap and a picnic.
Oh, I've had enough, Holmes.
The next step of our investigation, Watson, leads us inevitably to a post-mortem. As you're well aware, in the instance where a body's vital organs no longer function, every minute is vital. Be quick now and procure the room while I arrange the transport.
Very well. I will see you later.
So, in that case, on all 3 of them, so could it be that the poison was in the opium? Dogs.
Ah, Grant, you are still here. I need to ask a favor from you.
What sort of favor, my dear friend?
Might I use your morgue for a couple of hours? It concerns an affair of the greatest
Use the morgue? Whatever for? Letting you poke your nose in everywhere is one thing, but closing my eyes to I don't know what unsavory practices.
No, it's nothing like that.
No, it isn't possible, sorry.
Grant, listen to me.
Don't insist. Where do you think you are? Perhaps because you come from the rich area, you think you are entitled to do whatever you like. But here in Whitechapel, it's the real world, you understand? The real world, where we have to take risks. Do you even know what that means? And this shabby health center where I've been stagnating for years, it's a public establishment under my authority, for whatever that's worth. I am responsible for it. Responsible, do you understand?
Of course I understand, Grant.
Good.
I understand, first and foremost, that you are a coward.
What?
A coward, I said, sitting on your backside behind a desk for years, complaining about your fate without even trying to change a single thing about it.
I won't allow you.
And you dare to talk to me about risks? I, who was wounded in Afghanistan while in Her Majesty's service, and who, for a great many years, has taken part in some of the most dangerous criminal investigations the country has ever known.
But
as for being responsible, as you call it, it begins with doing your job properly, particularly when one is a doctor and caring for the poorest people within our society. The real life? Ha ha! Don't make me laugh. I am a doctor too, Grant, don't forget. And I'm ashamed of my profession when I see the state of this center.
It's not my...
So, your disgusting morgue, you are going to allow me to use it, dear friend, because I urgently need it for a vitally important affair that is way over your head, and whether it pleases you or not. Understood?
If you want to be like that about it, do whatever you like. I wash my hands of the entire thing.
That doesn't surprise me. This is a dismal place. Have you ever carried out a post-mortem, Holmes? It requires a great deal of precision.
Don't worry, I learn quickly. Hand me a bone saw.
You are gonna do the autopsy? Oh, hell no.
Go carefully, Holmes, even so.
Start on this. Oh. First.
I must clean the body first. I must mark the places to cut.
Okay. Now I use the scalpel.
My notches are ready. No, it is unnecessary.
Yes, I look up the guide now.
This liquid found in the lungs should be able to tell us something.
What the?
A ball of paper swallowed recently.
Stream. Approach the table in the corner, analyze the edge corner. That corner.
This liquid found in the lungs should be able to tell us something.
Sorry. Something dropped in the kitchen. I completely forgot my dad is home with a cold. Oh, my heart. Silver, blue. Chip 1, 2. Two. Wait. 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 This. I'm wondering why it wasn't. Two. Silver. One silver.
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
Salt of the unknown. That's the one. Result of the analysis of poison that was image hurts. Hidden aggression, madness, guidance of strength. Mission skin cheerful. Meaning what exactly? Production. Okay. Opium. Some must have been in the poisonous chip. All the way down, okay. I hope that already had opium. Out the aspect. Heals. Okay, so not green.
That was a most instructive post-mortem. This man was murdered by his accomplices because of his missing finger.
I see. He was overly conspicuous, walking around with a bandaged hand, as the police would have been looking for a man with a missing finger. But how did they manage to disguise the murder by making it look like a dog attack?
The post-mortem revealed the presence of poison in his system. Everything points to it being a less potent form of the poison we found in the bishop's rooms. This man died as much from the poison as from fighting against those animals. I believe this new version of the substance provokes such a rage that the victim attacks anything in his path, and in this instance it was dogs. We're dealing with sorcerers' apprentices whose creations are ever evolving. They are attempting to obtain a particular effect, and they try out their formulae on human guinea pigs.
You're saying that his accomplices forced him to drink it?
No, he took it himself, voluntarily. The poison wasn't to be found in his blood, but in his lungs. I also discovered numerous traces of opium.
I'm beginning to see. They mixed this horrible poison with his opium, knowing that he would soon smoke it to ease the pain caused by his wound.
Exactly. And such a profound knowledge of both chemistry and toxicology is uncommon. Very well. We know the reason and the manner, but we're really not any further ahead. How will we find the two other men who murdered the bishop? By going to 13 Burner Street. It is in this area.
But where did you get that address, Holmes?
From his stomach.
I see. He wanted to get rid of the address.
No, he wanted revenge.
I don't follow you.
When the man with the missing finger began to feel the effects of the poison, he knew that he was going to die, and he knew that there would be a post-mortem. Shall we go?
Yes. Hey. It's right that the opium balls were probably soaked in the poison, and the dogs actually ate the poison from them. Now, in this area, how does that help? Okay. Team.
There's our opium den, Watson. Let's go.
How common were opium dens?
Good day, gentlemen. Welcome. What can I do for you?
One of your regular clients looked within himself to give us your address. He was very helpful.
Oh, I understand. Our clients quickly become regulars. Your friend isn't with you?
Sadly, no. He is tied up with his dogs.
I understand. I too love dogs. Come in and make yourselves at home.
The keys to the establishment are all here together. Interesting.
Just have to understand. Okay.
A pity I don't understand Chinese. Closed.
Oh, okay. Somehow, how do I...
Ashes. It's not very clean here.
Please clean.
Dirty water. This bowl is used to wash smoking tools.
Poor devils. See, Holmes, the ravages caused by such artificial pleasure.
Jasmine tea, judging by the aroma.
Oh, really?
Poor devils. See, Holmes, the ravages caused by such artificial pleasure.
Smoke lungs out, or... Oh. Oh, he was talking to him. On this. What's the exit? Right. The guide helped me. Ash.
Ashes. It's not... Poor devils.
Jasmine tea, judging...
Oh no. Where am I going? I've not had jasmine tea, I've had jasmine candles. My preferred tea is red tea with Rubius vanilla, and then black tea, vanilla caramel.
Dirty water.
Talk to.
The keys to the establishment are all here together. Interesting.
Have you chosen somewhere to sit, gentlemen?
Not yet. but we would like to ask you...
Make yourselves at home, gentlemen. Someone will take care of you.
The keys to the establishment.
To check the... Probably have to talk to the guard. We need to get us through this door.
It's not allowed here. Go on a bit further.
Please excuse us, sir. Well, we have searched everywhere apart from 2 rooms. One of these rooms interests me particularly.
You are thinking of the guarded room, aren't you, Holmes?
I am indeed. But we should not consider any confrontation with the guard. Let us be discreet and enter the adjoining room.
It's locked, and it wouldn't be very discreet if we were to force it.
Nevertheless, we do need to get in there.
And the manager?
Let us find a way of distracting his attention.
Now, gather the log, ashes, and the tea.
Dirty water. This bowl is used to wash smoking tools.
Ashes. It's not very clean here.
Verity would probably be East Christianity. Done with Ariani? I suppose there's tradition in the north of Germany. Not tell me anything, but okay.
Jasmine tea, judging by the aroma.
Darying is a type of black tea. Okay. Which poor Zap is getting this? Apparently.
Holmes, you talked about making a client sick, but you were exaggerating. Surely you aren't going to force someone to drink...
Another of our differences, my friend. You cure people, I make them sick.
Uh-huh.
What's the matter? Are you ill? Hey, mister! It'll be all right. Breathe!
The Chinese waiter is busy. We can go.
I want... Okay, just you. Do not want any... Okay.
Closed. There we are. It is simplicity itself. Watson, put the key back in its place before the manager notices that it's missing.
I shall be quick. I managed to return the key without being seen.
Perfect. Let's go in.
Wait.
This stick will serve as a weapon or for something else. A ventilation window.
Touch delete.
All this material must be for heating opium before smoking it. Phew! What a stink! This bottle is full of barbiturate acid. We use it in medicine sometimes as a tranquilizer.
This billhook is very thin and solid.
Oh, I thought they were levers.
This small opening gives onto the guarded room.
Holmes, shh, listen.
Yeah, but that's different. I don't mind getting money for killing, but he was a sort of pope or something. And we didn't even get... Yeah, I know. I got nice rich man's boots. They must be worth about £20. But even so, and the boss ain't happy. And when I see him unhappy, I'm afraid. I don't fancy ending up like Kurtz. Perhaps you're right. But we'll have a chance to make up for it. We just have to get it right this time. Because he won't forgive us so easily next time.
They are the bishop's murderers, Holmes. The fiends.
Calm down, Watson. We'll have to take care of the guard at the entrance. I think we should be able to find something in this place that would put an elephant to sleep.
Very good. But then what?
Then we take care of those two devils.
How did that guy even understand what the man wolf was saying? But an elephant sleep. On validate.
Phew! What a stink.
A syringe that could be useful. Small balls of opium. I'll take a spoonful. I need something. I need something. I need something.
Holmes, do you really think that this is the appropriate moment?
Don't worry, Watson. My mind only requires stimulation when it is unoccupied. That is not the case at the moment. I am merely heating these opium balls to obtain a liquid solution.
You have a potentially very powerful sedative there, Holmes. Be careful, such a dose could be lethal.
This door shouldn't be open.
Let's hide, Holmes.
This place isn't very favorable for that. I hate the idea, but we will have to rely on luck.
There, it's locked.
We've been locked in.
Oh. How do I get out of here?
I think that window is large enough for us to squeeze through.
This window is well and truly stuck. We'll have to pull it free. It's open, but this window is damnably heavy. We need something to keep it wedged open.
Ah, that's the other thing. Up.
Good. We can get out of here. After you, my dear fellow.
very well, Holmes.
Oh, we'll just leave the window open. La la la.
It's time to take action, Watson. Go and distract the brute guarding the door.
What? Why don't you do it yourself? You're an expert boxer, after all.
It's not a matter of fighting. It's a matter of luring him to me.
Ah, I see. I imagine that the sedative is for him.
Well deduced, Watson. Do something to bring the guard towards me. Good luck, Watson.
Sir, would you be so good as to come here?
Ow.
You again? I've already told you that there's nothing to see here. Understood?
Oh, I have to aim the cursor at his neck.
Do something to bring the guard.
Oh.
Do something to bring the guard.
Sir.
Do
It's green, not red.
No, not that way. We must take them by surprise.
Let's get to the corridor by these stairs, Holmes. Holmes, what on earth are you doing?
Has a gun?
No! Stop! Put your hands up! Don't try anything clever!
You're under arrest. Take them away.
So be it. Come, Watson. Let us go.
Huh? For that matter, where did you come from?
But why have we come back to Baker Street? It would have been better to join Baines to interrogate those criminals.
No. In the hands of the police, those crooks won't talk, and you know it. They risk being hanged.
I don't understand anything here.
We must explore all our leads. Let us take a look at the map of London.
Okay, so does that mean according to guide, because before I went to Whitechapel, the choice was 3. I could pick any of these locations. So, in the order of the guide, prison was first, then Whitechapel, and then Kensington Gardens. I think what I want to do is go to Kensington Then the jail. Golden Age. Whoops. Chapel. So.
We have arrived.
The bishop's nephew lives here.
Yes, he rents a ground floor room.
Point I should save. Hi! You know what? Okay.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
How do you do, madam? We should like to see one of your lodgers, Henry Hampford.
Well, he's away. And you must understand, I don't open my door to strangers, especially with all these prowlers about.
That is the reason for our visit.
You're the police.
No, Henry is a friend of ours. He expressed his concern to us about these intruders. We're here at his request.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Henry, while he might seem strange at first, is a thoughtful and kind man. You must have noticed how worried I've been. Why, just this morning some of my washing was stolen, and I'm sure it was those ones who took it.
It seems like the best place to start our investigation. Maybe step into your garden and then perhaps look into our friend's room.
I don't see anything wrong with your looking over the garden, but his room... You understand, he didn't warn me.
I understand.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Let's have a look in the garden. Closed.
Oh, it's this one. There you go.
Indeed, there appears to be some linen missing. Without a doubt, it is the linen belonging to Henry's landlady. A rake. Why take it, Holmes?
Hey, now then, is ours for the taking.
Tins of food tied to one another. The wire seems long enough. They look to me as though they're rudimentary traps used to indicate the presence of intruders.
Oh, what a jumble!
closed. There should be a spade here. A small pickaxe.
I'm sorry, that's a hoe for turning over the earth. But would just be
What do you think, Holmes?
This window overlooks the room belonging to the nephew of the Bishop of Knightsbridge. This window overlooks the room.
Varsågod.
No, it is unnecessary. There is something interesting here. Good, we can pass. The remains of a small meal. Someone has stayed here rather a long time. This newspaper is 4 days old. The bishop's nephew was being watched long before his uncle's murder.
Strand. Estimate that nearly half the population of London is threatened by a serious food crisis. At present, most deprived areas are in a critical situation. The shortage rages throughout these areas of the capital risk turning into a famine if public authorities do not react.
Nothing of interest here.
Oh, wait. Well,
To let.
how does any of this help?
Nothing of interest here.
Oh yeah, the
It is just as I thought. Here's an ideal view of Henry's room.
there.
This clothing is torn. The man who stole it must have caught it on a tree when he stood upon the fence.
And at the moment when he jumped, he left this jacket in the tree.
Oh, I guess we can go.
Is this the washing you were looking for?
Oh, yes, that's it. Where did you find it?
On the ground, doubtless blown there by the wind.
They didn't steal it then. I'd have felt better knowing that those lurkers were nothing more than clothes thieves.
That is not the case, madam. This affair seems to be rather more serious than that. It appears that these intruders were spying on Henry. Now please, let us see his room.
Gracious me, whatever next? Come in. Take the first door on the left. It's open. He never locks it.
Never?
No, never. Well, you know him. He doesn't do things like everyone else. He lives in a world of his own.
When did you see him last? Did he say anything to you?
Yesterday morning. He just muttered a few words. I can't always understand what he's saying. When he does talk, that is. I can ask him a question, but he just stares off somewhere. The floor, the ceiling, as if I wasn't there. At first I found it strange, but I've gotten used to it.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. He's sometimes nervous too, isn't he?
Oh yes, as soon as anything upsets him. Even when he's alone in his room he gets cross. And then the next second he is standing stock still. He stares off into space and calms down again as fast as he became angry.
I'll begin. Seconds. Interesting. OBS.
Someone emptied a bag here. A violin. It is a lovely one, but where's its case?
You want to talk, you don't have yours, guys. But I don't know.
There is something interesting here.
What? There.
There is something interesting here. Box. Let's see.
Oh God.
He scratched the lock's cipher codes for himself. Watson, write them down for us.
It is noted. It is noted. I have noted down everything.
This lock is very complex. The young Henry is remarkably intelligent.
Okay, while the ads are going on, I'm gonna attempt solving this. If it's math, God, my head. As just ended since I changed scene. I figure out the two combinations, which is 8 and 1. The other two I had to look up at the guide, and it's 4 and 3.
Empty. But according to the label, this box contained a Colt Patterson.
It is a powerful weapon, Holmes. And judging by the receipt, it was new.
That's a gun key. And you, mister, have a gun at that marking. At least the size of it. And it was very shiny. Are suspicious now, good sir.
He got his scarf out, but he forgot to take it. No hat, no coat. This rubbish bin was emptied, and then someone threw a torn piece of paper in it, and judging by the smell, there was also an onion.
Onion?
Let us put these torn pieces of paper on the table. This candle is still hot. It's been used recently.
During the day? Whatever for? What is this strange installation?
Oh, great. Time to find the edges. And they can be rotated. Edges.
Both sides of the paper are blank. All this for nothing, Holmes.
Perhaps not, Watson.
What is this strange installation?
This candle is...
During the day.
The address of a dock on the Thames. My dear Watson, in the garden and in this room, pieces are missing that should never have left their places. What do you think? Quick, Watson, there's not a moment to lose. Go and thank that charming lady while I try to recapture our new friend.
Recapture? What makes you think that he has run away?
I believe that our man suffers from behavioral problems. You must have seen or heard about those poor fellows who spend their time counting the gravel stones in the garden or moving objects from one place to another hundreds of times in one day. Well, the bishop's nephew suffers from a moderate form of this condition. Nothing would be more disturbing to him than to leave a personal space in such chaos. And yet this is what he has done with this room. For it to reach such a state of neglect can only indicate that he was in a most desperate situation.
And do you think that you can catch him?
Yes. The candle here is still warm, so he left only a few minutes before our arrival. But it is the missing violin case and the large pistol which concern me. We know that he is quick-tempered and volatile. It is never wise to leave a gun quite capable of killing a bull in the hands of someone like that.
Did he leave to go to the address which was written in the invisible ink, do you think?
Undoubtedly, Watson. And as for the missing spade, I can tell you that it will be used for digging. Are you ever going to stop delaying me with endless questions?
So, gentlemen, have you found anything?
We have learned enough to promise you that they will not return.
That makes me feel better. Thank you, gentlemen.
We are going to pay a visit to that mysterious address, Watson. But first, we must detour to Lambeth.
Lambeth? What are we going to do there?
Pick up an old friend. He will be a precious help in our locating Mr. Hamford.
Good. And who is this friend?
A friend who helped us in the case you so romantically titled The Sign of the Four.
Oops. Hi, Toby, but oops.
Here we are at the address that the nephew took such care to hide.
I wonder what it is that links this place with the bishop's murder.
The reason for the quarrel between the young man and his uncle is somewhere here in this industrial area. And that is what he has come to look for this evening.
It's an enormous area, and there are dozens of potential hiding places. How on earth are we going to find him?
The old dog Toby is the best sleuth hound in town. If the extraordinary Mr. Hamford is here, Toby will find him without any doubt.
But I've rarely seen such an old dog. Do you really trust his sense of smell, Holmes?
Absolutely. Besides, you are going to follow him. Take the bark and go around that disused factory. If the nephew wishes to run away, he can do so only through there. If you find him, hold on to him until I rejoin you.
Very well.
Get ready, Watson. Let the battle commence. Toby's sense of smell is legendary, but he needs to know what he is looking for. Search, Toby. Search. Here's a good dog.
Guys, we have a problem. I went Whitechapel, Kensington Gardens, West Prison Gate. The guide specifically wants prison, Whitechapel, then the robbery. Or Kensington. I cannot. This would be the wisest thing to do, right? That means I have to do the opium den again, and that was hard attacking enough. Oh wait, which one is... Go back. Okay. Fuck. I need the map. Where's the map? Alright. What does this give me? This one has the map. Ah.
I cannot leave now.
Yes, you can. Shut up. I'm the idiot for not going in the water.
I cannot leave now.
State of hell, I'm an idiot. Do I have to play from here? I am an idiot. Alright. Stop. Orange.
Poison, and apparently... Poison?
Yeah.
Discreet? Have you been... Not with... As you said...
It's here.
The work tape. Holmes is
According to...
He's here.
Happily...
Then he
Don't...
And action point. What's it?
Perfect.
Well done, Watson. Our board is finished. It confirms that the bishop's murderers work for one person, who, amongst other things, possesses a very sophisticated poison. They therefore act for someone more educated than themselves.
You remember Wiggins and his gang? The Baker Street irregulars?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, my young friend, have you found the information for which the good Dr. Watson is going to be?
Yes, Mr. Thanks, Doctor.
Does he?
Yes.
Did she?
No, Mr.
Perfect.
Here we... I'm falling asleep.
No.
Wow, this is a real adventure. It's exciting. I like it better than made-up stories. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading. I'm going to.
Ah, I want to listen to.
My readers must excuse me if I do not describe in full detail here the terrible images which haunted me that night.
I had a sense that something extraordinary would take place, but I was scarcely prepared for the reality of it. Good morning, Holmes.
I did not.
Have you managed...
I think...
The poison...
Yes, I have located...
Holmes.
Ah. Nothing interesting.
Hey, escape prison.
Westgate Prison. Here we are at the famous Westgate Prison, one of the oldest and surest in the kingdom.
I've heard that it is soon going to be demolished. Don't you find it strange that it still houses criminals as dangerous as Hans Schielmann?
There's nothing strange about it, Watson. The name of this prison is linked with numerous failed escape attempts. As long as it stands, the criminals will fear it.
Good morning, gentlemen. Are you expected?
No, but we wish to meet with one of your prisoners, Hans Schielmann.
I'm afraid that at the moment that is impossible. Access to the cells is controlled strictly. You can't go there without permission from the director.
Then would you be so good as to announce us? I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson.
The famous Holmes and Watson. What an honour. My name is Brighton. Frank Brighton. I'm afraid that I can't announce you. I'm not allowed to leave my post, under any circumstances. But I'm sure that the director won't refuse to see you, even without an appointment. Do you see the corridor behind the reception? Follow it to the secretary's office. You'll find him there.
Thank you, Warden Brighton. One last thing. Hans Schielmann received any visits lately?
None. And I'm sure because I've dealt with receiving visitors for several weeks now. I volunteered because it's a calm post to be in. We don't get many visitors and it gives me time to write. Just like you, Dr. Watson. I enjoy literature and the...
Very good. Thank you.
That was very impolite, Holmes. That man admires our work. You could have given him...
Another time. Let's go and meet the director of the prison.
You're allowed one visit each month from members of your immediate family or other approved. Visiting hours are approximately 30 p.m. to 10 p.m. week. All personal visits will confine your talk to personal matters, refrain from discussing other inmates. Institutional matters as physical contact shall not be allowed. Food and beverages are not permitted. The viewers and inmates shall remain seated during the visit. Image shall not smoke. Attorney of record arranged through the office of the Associated Board. Violation of rules and regulations may result in termination of visitation.
Cleaning materials, otherwise known as a broom cupboard. Nothing of interest here.
Right, it's swell. Back.
Good morning, miss.
Oh, excuse me, I dropped off. Good morning, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We would like to talk to the director.
I'll just go and see if he can receive you.
Tiredness, pale face, stiffness. I believe that the young lady is expecting a happy event.
It would seem so.
I don't know if the music's playing because of the area we're in, or if it's because...
This charming secretary is Miss Jenny Patterson.
of the dogs.
This small rack is for urgent letters to be given immediately to the director.
Hot tea.
The director's office, Mr. P. Patterson. No need to go in there. Strange. The director and the secretary have the same name.
I'm delighted to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I am Paul Patterson, director of this establishment. You wish to talk to me? I hope this unexpected visit isn't to announce bad news.
No, do not worry. We are investigating an affair of the highest importance, one which could potentially affect the security of the kingdom. Therefore, it is imperative that we interview one of your prisoners, Hans Schielmann.
Hans, the rat killer? He's been in here for a long while now, and he's had no contact with the outside. How could he be involved in such an affair?
That is what we would like to find out.
And you have been commissioned by Scotland Yard?
Evidently.
Very well. I have complete confidence in you, Mr. Holmes. I will draw up a pass that you should give to Warden James in the guardroom. He will show you to the cells.
Thank you, Director.
Keep me informed of your progress. And if there is anything else, don't hesitate to let me know.
We shall certainly do so.
Miss Patterson, you have the same name as the director. Are you related?
Come, Watson. Anyone who might have made the slightest study of anthropology would have noted the similarities between the young lady and her father.
Mr. Holmes is right, I am his daughter, but he doesn't like to talk about it. I think he's afraid of being accused of favoritism.
I'm sure it was your qualities alone which secured you this position, miss.
If you must try out your powers of seduction, then what do you say about using them on the rat killer? Goodbye, miss.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
But Holmes isn't wrong, because without glasses, I look like my dad. And with glasses, we look the same. Guardroom. Oak room. Guard room must be the one where I saw the garden.
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
But we had a pass. We did.
Ah, you've got a pass for the high security area. It's the door at the end. Go ahead. My name is Peter James, Chief Warden, and this is Deputy Warden O'Sullivan.
I imagine I will find Hans Schielman behind these bars in the basement.
Yes, the high security cells are down there.
Is this the only access?
Yes, there was a second door at the end of the main hall, but it's been blocked up as a security measure.
Thank you, Chief Warden.
At your service. If you require further information, Warden Mackenzie will help you. He's at his post in the basement.
Tell me about the prisoners, Warden James.
We only have a few. As you might be aware, the days of this place are numbered. Therefore, we no longer receive new prisoners. Those who are already here are among the most dangerous in London. We have 3 at the moment. Hans the Rat Killer and the Flint Brothers.
The Flint Brothers?
Yes, 2 rather simple-minded maniacs who detest one another despite their relation. They massacred their parents and decapitated their neighbours. It took more than 9 policemen to overpower them.
Mr. Holmes, I am a huge admirer of yours. I have followed all your cases and successes with the greatest interest.
What enthusiasm. Have you ever thought of a career in the police force?
Have I thought about it? It's my dream. And I'm going to try my chance once this establishment closes down. I'm studying hard for the examination to get into police school.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
This device must be the alarm.
Here's the famous high-security area.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
Good morning, Warden. I have a pass which allows me to speak with prisoner Hans.
Very well. It is the cell at the end to your left. I'd advise you to walk in the middle of the corridor.
Okay. Below. This is still up. Thing. Once I've been through here, I mean, I can go back here. And hi.
Hans Schielman, I require some information from you.
So, who do we have here? The celebrated Sherlock Holmes himself. Do you know that for all the time I have spent rotting in here, you are my first and only visitor? I think this is cause for celebration.
Yeah, he was German.
A confrontation between 2 geniuses, 2 extraordinary minds.
I'm afraid that you are not quite as great a chemist as you believe you are, Mr. Schielman. I will not say that you never were. No, it was certainly true once.
But you see, while you are whiling away your days in here, it appears that someone on the outside is at the point of surpassing you, if that is not already the case.
Yes, I heard about that. A chemical poison that eats away at the flesh and provokes hysteria. I recognize talent when I see it, but it's only a matter of time before I win back my laurels. Believe me.
What can you tell me?
That depends on what you can bring to me.
What do you want?
Do you know why I am treated so harshly? For my meals, I am given nothing but a hunk of bread. And even then, not just any sort.
Get to the point.
Never interrupt me! Where was I? Oh yes, the bread. Did you know that with a little rye yeast, a pinch of moss, certain cockroach secretions, just enough light and damp, with a few other ingredients that I will keep quiet about, I succeeded in poisoning. Unfortunately, a little something was omitted, which would have made the results fatal. Instead, it merely caused acute attacks of stress and powerful hallucinations. Even so, I got a great laugh out of watching them cry like babies when they saw their most primitive fears materializing before them.
You are a monster, Mr. Shielman.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment.
But of course it was! You others, you ordinary, narrow-minded people, you are afraid of anything that you cannot comprehend. You call me a monster because what you find impossible to face is just the slightest fraction of my genius. If by monster you mean someone who is nothing like you, then it is a compliment.
Are you the Joker of the 18th century? 17th. Hi, Shogun. I have been live for 4 hours, but I had a crash at like 2 hours in. And I had to restart my computer in order to get OBS to start up again and not crash every time.
What do you need?
Very little. Just something to write with. You see, my brain races like an engine with too many thoughts. I see them crackle and explode into thousands of formulae right in front of me. What a torture not to be able to write them down. What a hell to see them vanish just as quickly as they appear to me. Just bring me something that I can write with.
That's all. That seems an easy enough request to fulfill.
But listen, I don't want a vulgar inkwell and a pigeon's feather. No, I need material fit for my talent. I want my ink pen. Bring it to me, and I will be happy to pass on to you a little of my knowledge of modern chemistry.
Where is it?
It was confiscated upon my arrival here. I suppose it might be in my locker, in the locker room. Leave me now, and don't come back without my ink pen.
That'll happen sometimes.
See you
so
soon.
It's not
Mr.
just me.
Holmes.
Like, I couldn't even open to get the crash logs through them.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
Is that where I want to go? Smell a rig pen, also his accent feels like a slap in the face. Where's the document on him? Nationality German.
This information board is almost empty. Strange, in view of the activity in the prison. It is about the signing in book. It is potassium nitrate, isn't it?
Yes. Saltpeter or whatever.
Together. I secure door. Okay. Back. Stop. Again, I don't know if the music is playing because I made a mistake and went Whitechapel, Kensington Gardens, which immediately brought me to the wharfs. And I got nervous in case something was about to happen and it would lock me out away from the prison. So I went back a couple of saves and started from Baker Street and went back to the prison. And then I think I can continue this load. Think. Still locked.
Closed.
Good. Just glanced at the guy that I had to talk to. You, Yap.
I'm glad to have been of service, Mr. Holmes.
Can you tell me where I might find the locker room?
In the corridor that leads to the director's office. That's where the prisoners' civilian stuff is held. But seeing the length of their sentences, they've little chance of ever getting it back.
Can you open the locker room for us? We would like to inspect Shieldman's personal items.
No, Mr. Holmes. I'm not responsible for that. You will find the keys in the secretary's office.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
Let us go to the secretary's office. Miss, may we borrow the keys to the locker room?
You will need authorization from the director to open that door. If you wait a moment, then I will inform him.
We will wait, thank you.
Anything new, Mr. Holmes? Is your investigation advancing? Mr. Holmes, have you been able to get what you wanted from our lodger?
Not yet. We must first cast light upon a crucial point, and for that we require your help again.
What can I do?
We need to examine Shieldman's civilian clothing.
Very well, but be extremely careful.
What do you mean?
In that madman's compartment, you will find a strange little coded case which refused point blank to open when he was incarcerated. We did try to force it, but without success.
Didn't you ask the experts?
Of course we did. Experts from Scotland Yard came to examine it, where they came to the conclusion that it was better that the case remained shut than tamper with it too much.
I see. They were afraid that some poison or other might escape if it was opened.
Exactly. Bear in mind that this man is an evil genius, a master poisoner, and that his poisons are never ordinary.
It is a mixture of Joker and Scarecrow.
Here's the key to the locker room. I give you the authorization to open it.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Miss Patterson, the guards are still waiting for you to put up the duty list. Do it as soon as possible. Without it, the changing of the guard cannot take place. Or had you forgotten?
Dry your tears, miss. I'm certain that your father didn't mean to hurt you.
Mr. Watson, I can't put up the duty list. And when he finds out, he'll be furious.
Why can't you?
It's in my locker, in the cloakroom, and I've lost the key.
Your aunt.
Say no more, Holmes. As you keep repeating, time is against us. Let's go and look at the things in the rat killer's locker.
Like we have to.
The locker room. This is where the prisoner's things are kept.
Closed.
But I thought we could help get her the list.
Closed.
Ah. Very many keys.
Closed.
Work. Okay.
Here is the locker of our friend, Hans, the mad scientist.
Oh, what a jump!
Blotting paper. A paper knife. This solid box must hold a precious object. Let us see.
As soon as the catastrophe came to be known, alarm from mouth to mouth was blown. The cry rang out all over town. Good heavens. A bridge is blown down. Passenger train from Edinburgh filled all of the people's hearts with sorrow. For to turn pale, because none of the passengers were saved to tell the tale. How the disaster happening on the last Sabbath day of 79 will be remembered for a very long time.
A poem in Hans's handwriting.
Oh, it was a poem. Okay.
I can't do that. There is something interesting here. There is something interesting here. There is something interesting here.
I know what they stop. Find it.
Blotting paper. I can't do that.
What's the guy tell me?
This cannot be a simple coincidence.
9 RHS. Or lol as in the code, or lol as in I'm an idiot. Oh, A, not 9. A. Okay. R. S.
Perfect.
What is written on that note, Holmes?
Later, Watson, later. We can give Hans his pen.
Alright, let's see if the pen is a bomb. Keys are used up.
What a bunch of incompetents. Oh, if I was as unprofessional as that, there would be murderers running all over the town.
What's the matter? Are you a patient of Dr. Watson?
Very amusing.
I was going on about the dry cleaners in Westgate Street. They've just delivered my ceremonial uniform in the middle of my duty, when I've told them 1,000 times not to bring it until after 6 in the evening.
A ceremonial uniform? You've been promoted?
No, and that's not about to happen. No, I've been invited to a wedding. I mean, I hope to be. I'm in trouble. If the director sees that I've left my post, I'll be sacked without pay.
Give it to me, Warden Brighton. I'll take care of it for you.
Really? Thanks a lot. Here's the key to the cloakroom and that of my locker. I'm really grateful, Mr. Holmes.
What have you got in mind, Holmes? You're not doing this out of kindness, are you?
No, out of curiosity.
Oh
we
shit,
will be
ads
able
are
to
going on.
access the cloakroom with these keys.
Gonna do this. Don't break. Don't break. Right back. Little times left.
Staff cloakroom. Closed.
That's the locker key.
Miss Patterson's locker. Miss Patterson's locker.
I somehow...
Closed.
I still have all of that. Likely not to have them.
Here is Brighton's locker. Bicarbonate of soda. Brighton must have an upset stomach, caused by stress without a doubt. The name on the key is Jenny Patterson. That is interesting.
Maybe he found it after she lost it.
Bicarbonate of soda. Closed. Let us examine Miss Patterson's locker. The lock on this box is rather sophisticated.
Incredible. Is Jenny hiding something?
Holy damn. Guide. There's something at the guide again. I am fine.
It's really very clever. Little Jenny is astonishing.
That was correct. Yep.
A locket, sealing the relation between Jenny and Warden Brighton. Decidedly, this boy is not a great poet.
My Jenny, get married. Never mind the consequences. Father will have to accept the fact that we are in love. Think about the baby and do not forget that I love you. Love you. No poem. Heart bounce. On. Bounce. On and on. Bye-bye, great Chinese fellows. Okay.
A letter from Brighton to Jenny. Barely literate.
Apparently, Jenny is carrying Brighton's child, and it seems that Jenny's father, the director, is unaware of this.
Vanguard, O'Sullivan, Reception, Brighton. On call in the guard's room. Fancy. Later.
Here is the famous guard duty list. Interesting. We have found the guard duty cards, miss. If you like, I can go and discreetly give them to the guards.
Oh, thank you. You've got me out of a lot of trouble, Mr. Holmes.
This information board is almost empty.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes, you can't go into the basement for the moment.
For what reason?
The door has locked itself automatically. We must enter a new security code.
Do it, then.
Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard duty list yet. Without that information, we don't know who's authorised to take note of the new code.
So Mackenzie is locked in the high security zone.
Yes, but don't worry about him. He's trained for this sort of dysfunction.
Why not ask the director to take note of the code and open the door?
He isn't allowed to. I doubt that he would run the risk of going against the orders of the administration centre. Anyway, the bars in the high security section are joined to the alarm system, which is in that room. We only need to sound it to unblock, but you see, we can't do that now.
We'll try to find the duty list, Warden James.
We have found Chief Warden James's duty list.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Let's see. O'Sullivan, it's you who takes over from Mackenzie. Take note of the code, please, and unblock the door.
At once, Chief. Ah, Mr. Holmes, could I ask you for a favour?
Please do.
I think I can say on behalf of all the staff that we would be honoured if you would care to write something in our guest book.
With pleasure, O'Sullivan. You seem worn out, O'Sullivan. A good night's sleep would do you good.
Good night's sleep would do me good. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Is something worrying you?
As you know, Westgate Prison will soon be demolished, and I'm spending most of my nights studying for my exam to join the police. You understand, I have to think about my future. So sleep isn't a priority at the moment.
Scotland Yard is always looking for young, competent and motivated men. Would a letter of recommendation from me allow you to get some sleep?
What? A letter from Mr. Sherlock Holmes recommending me for Scotland Yard? Are you quite serious?
Completely serious, my young friend. May I use this writing paper? The one on your desk.
1,000 thanks, Mr. Holmes. 1,000 thanks.
It is addressed to Inspector Baines, a good friend of mine. There's no need to remind you that it must be opened only by the person to whom it is addressed.
Yes, of course. I'll give it to him personally. Thank you again, Mr. Holmes. At your service, Mr. Holmes.
The guards must spend long hours here.
Don't. Imp them. Well.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
Alright.
It is the guard's guest book.
See you soon, Mr. Holmes.
Well,
You have what you wanted, your precious pen.
you seem annoyed, Mr. Holmes. I would even go so far as to say terribly worried.
Why should you care, Mr. Shielman? Let's talk about that poison.
I am not talking about you in the grip of natural emotions found in ordinary people who are confronted by the inexplicable. But as for Mr. Holmes, you are embarrassed, aren't you? Are you hiding something?
That is enough, Shielman.
You have kept your word. Therefore, I will keep mine. At this moment, the poison which so interests you isn't finished yet. Its maker is encountering great difficulties in attaining the desired results.
What is the end result?
Now, Mr. Holmes, the end result of any science, as Descartes once said, to become the master and owner of nature. Here we are talking about human nature, of course. And the creator's problem isn't so much the mixture as the durability of his creation.
What do you mean?
You see, this poison was made using rare but very volatile short-living compounds, which means that it is only possible to produce small quantities, which most importantly do not keep for a long time. Conceiving such a product in a laboratory especially built for the purpose could be achieved by any good chemist. But recopying this alchemy on another scale and keeping it ready at any moment, observing the particular conservation and storing conditions that a substance of this type requires, well, that would need a genius. I doubt if the creator of this mixture would be capable.
And you would be, of course.
Of course.
Luckily, you are going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Luck is cyclical. It always comes around again, sooner or later. As far as I am concerned, I have the feeling that the cycle is going to be very short.
Holmes, it sounds to me as though this Shielman is implying that an escape attempt will be made.
Yes, we must go and warn the director.
Right.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Okay. Our change has been made. Yep, there's my cat. Oh boy.
It is out of the question that your bastard is named Patterson. Very well. You refuse to reveal the father to me. Well, then go and join him. I'm not stopping you.
I can't.
Director, you will have to postpone this small family reunion. We believe that a serious scheme is afoot. We must act without delay.
You're not thinking of...
Yes. Shielman's words leave no room for doubt. It seems that he is planning an escape attempt. We strongly advise you to search his cell.
Do you really believe that he's hiding something? Because I must make an official report and have a legitimate reason for doing a search.
Director, if this prison is still in operation, it is solely because of its reputation. Think of the consequences of an escape. It would be closed at once. And what post do you imagine would be offered to the person deemed responsible?
You're right. No one will escape from Westgate under Patterson. I will order an immediate search of Mr. Shielman's cell.
Chief Warden James reporting. The search of prisoner Hans Shielman's cell has been carried out. No suspicious items were found.
Thank you, Chief James. I feel better now. Without wishing to offend you, Mr. Holmes, I am glad that you were mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken, we've nothing more to do here. Shall we go, Holmes?
There's just one more thing for me to see, Watson.
What's that?
Mr. Holmes, sorry to interrupt you, but Miss Jenny wishes to see you alone. She's waiting for you in her office.
This, Watson.
How did you know?
Wait for me in the guard's room. I won't be long.
What an extraordinary gentleman that Sherlock Holmes is. You must have had lots of adventures with him.
Oh, yes, dozens.
Thought he was infallible, but there wasn't anything out of the way in the rat killer's cell. Could he have been mistaken?
I must admit...
Warden Brighton, in my office immediately. That's an order.
The director seems furious.
Yes, it must be important for him to order Brighton to leave his post.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that's not normal. Never heard Flint shout like that.
But why doesn't O'Sullivan sound the alarm?
Follow me, Mackenzie. Let's go and have a look.
I'll come with you.
No, Dr. Watson, you're not allowed in. Wait for me here.
Very well.
Hey, but... the grill is blocked, Chief.
We've been locked in. And that smoke, it's coming from below. O'Sullivan, can you hear us?
Sully, are you alive? Answer us, Sully.
What's going on? Can I help you?
Sound the alarm in the guard's room. That should unblock the door. Be quick. O'Sullivan might be in danger.
Wait.
It doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
It doesn't work.
Shoot.
It doesn't work. Locked. Locked.
Hey, what are you waiting for to sound the alarm, Doctor?
It's impossible. It's been damaged. I'll run and warn the director.
No, Doctor. Our priority is to save O'Sullivan. Go ahead through the visitors' corridor and see if he answers your call.
Very well.
Take the keys. They're in our room.
Okay, so that's what the there is.
O'Sullivan, can you hear me? O'Sullivan, answer me.
Yes, I'm here. Quick, get me out
Nope.
of here. The Flints have escaped, and they are fighting like dogs. Help!
It's a catastrophe. Locked.
You heard it too, didn't you?
It doesn't work.
Useless. This door is blocked by the timer, but not the one below. Give me the keys, quickly!
Shielman.
I've got the keys, Doctor. Thank you.
Follow me, Watson. We must repair the alarm.
Finally! There you are, Holmes.
Oh my god.
I'm going to turn on the system. Watson, you make sure of the contact.
I hope that this isn't dangerous.
Oh, there. What the hell do you want me to? Come on. Finally.
It works.
Perfect.
It's open. Let's go down.
Be careful. From what your colleague said, the flints are out.
We are trained for this sort of situation. And we're armed.
Come and help us, Watson.
Everything is back to normal. Thank you for your help, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
But where is O'Sullivan?
He's no longer here. He must have gone out through the visitor's entrance.
Yes, and he must be pleased to have gotten out of the basement.
Good. We must now check all the cells. It's the procedure in case of an alarm.
We'll come and help you.
You are evidently fond of wasting time, my dear fellow. Rejoin me at the reception when you've finished.
One, two. And 11.
The grate is open. This is alarming. He's fine where he is, under the cover, still.
How can he sleep with all this noise?
I'll admit it's not normal. Perhaps the smoke has poisoned him. I had better take a look.
Be careful, Doctor. He is dangerous.
O'Sullivan!
It's impossible. He was with us only a few moments ago. Or else...
Or else it wasn't O'Sullivan.
My God, he's escaped. The rat killer has escaped.
We're screwed. Are you? Yep, calm down. Talk to him.
Ah, Holmes, there you are. Hans has escaped. I fear that this inquiry is a bitter defeat for us.
Not at all, my dear fellow. Quite the contrary. Follow me.
Why the devil have you brought me behind the prison?
We have an appointment, Watson. Look who is waiting for us.
Shieldman! I'll go back and alert the guards.
Calm down. He's harmless.
But what is he doing here? Why hasn't he run away?
Because I asked him not to.
Are you telling me that you helped him to escape?
Quite so, as he wouldn't have been able to do so alone.
But how? And why? He's a dangerous madman. Holmes, you've made me an accomplice in this escape. You owe me some explanation.
And you will have them. But my priority for the moment is to remove our new friend to a safe place. I won't be long, but I must go alone. I'll rejoin you later. Just give me your next destination.
Very well. I suppose you know what you're doing.
How could you doubt it? Here, take the notes. They will help you when you write up the account of our visit to Westgate. So, where do I find you?
I have to redo it. Alright. Guess we go to Whitechapel again.
The next step of our investigation should take place in the Whitechapel area.
Good. Go then, and I'll rejoin you there.
This entire stream has gone out of control, so... Oh, look. This. Actually, I'll return. The escape was actually found discovered a known inside Shieldman's locker. Smart enough to open the case will know a couple of drops of my masterpiece are mixed together with the ink by the pen reservoir. For reading this note, it means that I am in the right spot. Understand that my special rarely destroy the work of anyone. Therefore, you have a few precious seconds to shape the subject's. If you recognize my genius, use knowledge to get me out of the embarrassing situation that I am undoubtedly in. But escape inside the case. That way he could ensure that none of the staff could find it other than our friend. Learning this, I decided to play along with him, with a double game of my own. Have him escape, but I would also keep him under control by using concrete on him. I allowed Shieldman to commence the game by giving him a pen, in order to advance my pawns. My first move for the director persuade the director necessary to search the cell, or pass the ball into Shieldman's James. Did not waste it. Loaded the bars of his cell with the poison ink and water games. Hands were contaminated. Control seconds. And quietly sent games to game. Ball was back in my court. Now I had to find a way of neutralizing Sullivan. It was to be the basement guard, as we discovered when we found Miss Patterson. I admit that the young warden helped me enormously by asking me to sign the prisoner's book. The visitor's book. Absorbed in the tale, I went over the chronology of events in my mind. Marked that Holmes had already... Back to what? Sword in the tail, over the chronology of events in my mind. After Holmes had already signed Such book for giving Shieldman his pen. replied the most annoying tone. Exactly, I anticipated it. With that, I managed to get a step ahead in my game of jump. I was leading the race, and all the while he believed it to be the other way around. Gilman did not suspect that I overheated his poison, and thought that O'Sullivan being asleep was a godsend. Therefore was not suspicious about the letter of reference when he found it inside the ward pocket. Holmes then returned to the point broken from his tale, to point out the lack of pertinence to my remark. Okay. Oh, it's there. Do not put the cart before the horse, Watson. Let me continue. So, by merely touching the fresh ink on the page in the visible book, Sullivan was under my control. I suggested a state of advanced rousiness, but ordered him not to do anything just sufficient for him to be unable to resist a siesta during his guard duty. Later, after the changing of guard, Shieldman used to let himself up, sleeping O'Sullivan over the head and exchange his prisoner uniform for the ward. Then he created a smokescreen by using the ingredients I had given: sugar from Miss Patterson's tea tray, Brighton's carbonate soda, potassium nitrate from the guard's room, and sulfur for one of the matches. Used the keys again to free the Flint brothers. The ruffians all leapt at each other's throats, very dickon of a nose. Had the diversion he needed to leave the high security area. That is the moment where you entered the game, Watson. Thinking that you were helping O'Sullivan, now to hunt Shieldman to open the corridor annex bars by throwing him. My side, I opened the second lot by turning the alarms on again. In light of Holmes' explanation, I began to see my actions during this episode from quite another angle. Troubled by the way he had used me without my having any idea at the time of my actions. Interrupted his monologue to refer to the guards who had not realized what was happening and were occupied with training the Flint brothers. Continued. Exactly. So there. There now only one obstacle in front of Shieldman, Warden Brighton at the reception desk in front of the building. I interrupted him again. But if it was the director who summoned him so intensely, Holmes, won't have me believe that he was an accomplice in this escape. Of course not. I provoked the director's rage towards Brighton. Patient, I cannot stop myself from asking. Discovered that Jenny Patterson and Brighton were lovers. I also knew that the director did not have any idea about their affair, and that he would surely fall into the foul rage he had. I asked them the reason why Patterson summoned. Yes. That I had opened her locket to find the guard's duty list. Fucker. And so she knew I was aware of her affair with Brighton. I wanted to make sure that I would not say anything. Pointed out that it had been rather unfeeling on his part to have told the director everything, reminding him of his promise to and I, in a somewhat hypocritical manner, did not say anything. Simply left the lover's letters inside the urgent correspondence box in the secretary's office, knowing that they would be delivered to him a few minutes later, thereby provoking his rage. Anger. I can read it. The director shouted at Brighton, rushed off to the secretary's office. Gilman now had nothing to stand between him and the front door. Another question leapt into my mind. Not the least important one. Why did he not simply run away once he was outside? Why did he wait? Not disappointed by my friend's answer. It was evident, my dear Watson. He did not run away, then it was only thanks to the aforementioned step ahead of which I told you. Give me enough time to write the letter of recommendation for O'Sullivan with poison pen. The pocket of the uniform, and Shieldman could not resist reading it when he found out. Written in that letter. Thanks very much. Just congratulations on your escape. Wait for me here. I gaped at him. That is how first and only escape from foldable prison in the kingdom came to pass. Scenario which, without doubt, will prove to be focus of the police college studies for a long time to come as one of the most extraordinary escapes in the history of modern prison. My fault. Okay.
Here we are in the heart of Whitechapel. Keep an eye on your wallet, Holmes. This area is the highest for pickpockets in all of the kingdom.
Don't worry about my wallet, Watson. It would be easier to move Big Ben than to steal from me.
Or to borrow a shilling from you.
Amusing, Watson. Really very amusing. Can we move on to more serious matters?
I'm listening, Holmes.
Damning helpful thing. I think it's time. I can either replay this in the correct order Friday, or I start at the wharf with Toby. I was an idiot for not doing things. Guide order was prison, then Whitechapel, Gardens. Uploaded Friday. I also have to rename the title of this stream as 1/2 and 2/2 to like show that this is the first part of the stream. This is the stream like after 15-30 minutes of crash from hell. I have no idea how it happened. But the stream has been going on for 3 hours now. So how long is stream? Can I Firefox without everything going up? Is there a part of my computer that's about to explode in my face? It went on for 1 hour and 2 minutes. Hey, here's this window. Okay, Mr. Result. So yeah, I'll see what I do on Friday. Started from the wharf, but replay it in the order it's supposed to be played in. To get down card again. We'll see what happens. It's the mixed Friday, so. $4.45. Yeah. I'm gonna take headache medication. Check that my dad hasn't croaked. A cold. I'll see you all on Friday. Or tomorrow morning if I feel, tomorrow evening, feel like streaming. Well done.